These two are part of, you're the creator, founder, actors, everything of Conversations in LA, Anne-Marie Cummings and Gustavo Velasquez. How are you guys?
Wow.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming in.
I love your show. It's hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
So funny. So just to tell the audience a little bit about the premise of the show.
Right. So Conversations in LA is a one-shot series. It's a 5-time daytime Emmy-nominated series that is about an older woman, me, who meets a younger Hispanic man, and they fall in love. And it's also about Michelle Maccabee, my character's, sort of the challenges that she goes through with the midlife experience and menopause and all that good stuff.
We have a trailer right here.
It's, I mean, beautiful. You two are magic together on screen, by the way.
Yeah, you
You're
are.
magic together on this couch. You were magic on the red carpet. And watching the two of you is so beautiful. And what I love about this one take is that it really captures kind of the chaos of what I would imagine being that midlife crisis woman and reinventing yourself feels like, right? It's almost like you're in this world, you're really in the world, and it's spinning.
Right. I think that, I love what you mentioned. And so the idea behind the one shot is I want to submerge viewers into the world, their world, their friends' world. And, we're so used to seeing films and television where there's cuts. We continually go from one cut to another cut, and the background is always the same, which is beautiful. But my experience, 30 years of experience in the theater and being on stage for 2 hours at a time, I just thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the camera going. And so the blocking with my cinematographer is usually just this continuous camera movement. And now that we're in our 3rd season, it gets more and more risque. We just filmed an episode around an entire neighborhood in Marina Del Rey. It was 20 minutes of walking, stopping, running, you name it. Now we're doing an episode that goes in and out of a car for 30 minutes.
Wow.
It's so wild.
It's very cutting edge, and it's such important conversations. You talk about hot flashes, midlife, online dating, age, addiction, falling in love, hormones, unemployment, loss, porn, and feeling alive again. So sign me up. I'm down.
No, I mean, Gustavo, you can chime in on this one.
I think Erin, earlier I heard him say about the craft, and I'm so thankful I spent years and years and years training, because this one take to hold a scene for 25 minutes with no take stuck, everything's on you as an actor, and her writing is so incredibly brilliant. Like, it's attracted Justin Kirk from Weeds and Angels of America. He did 2 episodes with us. Willie Garson from Sex and the City, he signed up. So to be able to work with them is really understanding what vulnerability is as an actor, really wanting to just show your soul and not be afraid of it and really go to distance with it. But this show, season 3, I feel like we really mastered it. We've been doing it for 3 years nonstop. Each rehearsal is a month long. Every single day we're going to a 10.
Every episode is a month, because it's just, it's highly choreographed. I work with a small crew of about 4 people. And my DP this year, Sebastian Heinrich, who's been my sole editor for almost 3 years now, he is taking this to a whole new level. It's so, I give him the sort of basic blocking, but he just runs with it in such a way. Like, we just did an episode with Willie Garson in a therapy office. He's our couples therapist. And I basically give him the point A to point B to point C type of blocking. But when we watched it at the end, it was so unbelievable. Sebastian Heinrich, we work with a single camera. It's a DJI Osmo, or right now we're working with a Sony a7R II on a gimbal. And it is just, I was blunt. I was like, Sebastian, I was like, give me 5, because we are all at that place now where we're mastering this technique. And, it's that rehearsal time, our process is so important. So
It's so incredibly unique. I mean, and just this past season, you were nominated for Outstanding Lead Actor in Digital Daytime. I mean, tell us a little bit about that. I mean, really.
I mean, for both of us to be nominated, I've been, it was interesting listening to the amazing musician who was here before because, I get it. I've been, I started writing when I was 6. I've been acting since I was 6 or so. This has just been a lifelong journey for me. And when I moved to Los Angeles 3 years ago and I started working on this, it was just yet another project that I started to work on without the expectation that it was going to become this big thing. It was more, this is me and my craft. And this is what I'm doing as an actress, writer, director right now. And I call it my Jackson Pollock drip series phase, because I love following painters and their sort of process. So I think of this as part of my journey. And I think that Gustavo feels the same way with his own
It's something
work.
You guys said earlier that something's happened in an instant and something just take time. And like getting Emmy nominations, that's an instant. You find out. You go to the award show, that's an instant. You get actors who join or you sell a show that happens in 1 second. But the journey to get there takes years and years and years of time. And because that getting nominated, that didn't happen overnight. That took a lot of time.
Is it easy for you guys to stay motivated along the journey when you're waiting for things to kind of happen and unfold, or is it something that just comes naturally and easily?
I think of this as I'm not waiting for anything. This is what I'm doing. It's right now. It's not about what's next for me. It's about this in this very moment. We are extremely grateful to be moving forward into season 3 and to see so many people on our team. Our casting directors, Jamie Rudovsky and Christy Faison, our publicists, Anderson PR, the actors, Justin Kirk, Willie Garson, some others that are coming on board this year. To see people working so hard with us and believing in my vision of one-shots. Let me tell you, the first year, people thought I was crazy. They're like, continuous camera movement in film and rehearsals in film? No way. No. In Los Angeles? And I'm like, yeah, we got to rehearse.
That'd be good.
You know what? We really do. We need to rehearse. And I know that was kind of foreign to a lot of people at first, which from New York, people are like, yeah, we're going to rehearse. So, it's just been interesting being here, but I think we motivate each other.
Yeah, it's being extremely grateful for the opportunity, especially to be a lead Hispanic actor in a absolutely breathtaking one-take series. Is just really grateful, but manifesting everything now, manifesting where we're going, where we are, and being present.
And we do a lot of that. We actually, both Gustavo and I think, and other people on our team, but, Gustavo and I really cheer each other on a lot. We have up days and down days, like everybody in life. And, I think it's been amazing working with Gustavo because on some of my down days, he's there for me. And, we face a lot of obstacles with one take series.
Conversations are so relatable. I mean, ageism and online dating and all this stuff. This is just content from your own life. Like, what you're just like,
I think that if a writer says that these characters don't stem from them or come from them, they're lying. Because, all of the characters that I write, I identify with. They're part of me. They're part of the people I've known. They're part of, the conversations I've had or I've overheard. Or I've listened to, and so I just get into a zone where I make a decision that every episode is going to be about something important. It's an important conversation. And it's not about, I don't think about my audience per se. What do they want to hear? I think about what I need to say. And what do I think, I guess at the end of the day, too, what are people going to relate to? And, this is a relationship. And it's an older woman, younger man, which I think some people can identify with. But at the end of the day, it's a relationship. And we all go through the struggles of love and a relationship. And, you know, it's not this sort of glossy, everything is rosy in this relationship, because it's not. I think that I dive deep into the psyches of these characters, and they have very real conversations, which I think for millennials, sometimes I wonder when I see people always on their phone, do they ever talk? Because whenever I make a phone call, people sound surprised.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
What are you doing?
why are you
me?
calling me? You should be texting me. And so for me, it's a real joy to actually write conversations. And I think that people on my show are like, wow, this is 10 pages of a real dialogue.
I just love that. One of my favorite quotes, and I'm not going to get it right, but it's basically like, don't worry about the world, what the world needs. Worry about what makes you come alive. Like, discover that and go do that, because what the world needs most are people who are alive.
Right.
And I feel so alive watching Conversations in LA. It's
Oh
just fantastic.
my gosh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel alive writing it and doing it, and I think other people do too.
Absolutely.
They have that challenge of, wow, we're talking about something real here.
Amen.
Amen.
Love that.
We're breaking up the world together. That's what Erin says.
Yeah.
So people can watch Conversations in LA on Amazon Prime. Where else can people follow you individually?
So on Instagram, but also I think people should just go right to conversationsinla.com.
Perfect.
And just go right to all of our social media through there.
Perfect.
Perfect.
She
So
said it
appreciate you
best.
guys.
So awesome,
Thank
you guys.
you,
I
thank
love it.
you.
It's fun, it's sassy, it's enlightening, it's all of the above, and it's so LA. So
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Good Morning La La Land.